Today, guys, we are going to learn what this graphic organizer means. Okay, so if I use the acronym SWBST in order to write a summary, it stands for somebody. See the S. Somebody, let me go to highlighting, mark up. Somebody, S. Wanted, W. B, but. So, then, okay, SWBST. And we use this because it helps you pull out the important details in a story. These are important details: who the character is, what they wanted. So what was the problem comes with the but. When was the problem? They wanted this, but this happened. That's the plot. So how did they react? Proactive, reactive. So what did they do to solve their problem? Okay, then how did it end? So we follow along this story summary in order to create a summary using the details of what we learned. So I just want you to follow along with this story, and then we will fill out the somebody wanted, but so then. I'm going to pause it real quick because we know that our somebody is going to be our main character. So I'm actually going to come in and I'm going to write this right into our text box. Okay, and I can stop this or I can watch the whole thing through, but I'm going to add that the character's name was Alma. So we have to figure out what Alma wanted. Let's see. We can now go into what Alma wanted. So based on what she is doing, she sees a doll that looks just like her, and she wants the doll that looks just like her. It is dressed the same. Okay? And the problem seems to be she can't get in. It's part of her problem. Let's see if that's her whole problem. what an interesting story. So she wants a doll that looks just like her. It's dressed the same. What is the problem? The problem at first is that she cannot get in. She cannot get in, and she cannot seem to follow the doll. So she cannot get into the store, and the doll keeps moving on her. Okay, which is kind of odd. So what happens? So the doll then moves to the top shelf, and Alma climbs up and touches the face. Okay, that's what happens. So that's what happens. She climbs up, she touches the face, and she does that in order to get the doll. She wants the doll, so she does that to get the doll. The final part of this is how it ends. Alma turns into the doll like the other kids who did the same thing. Finally, another doll is placed in the window for the next child to come along. Okay, so we now kind of have the main details of the story. And don't forget to put the title of the story up here that was read or that you saw. So the title was Alma. Okay, and Alma, wanted the doll that looked just like her. It's dressed the same, but she cannot get into the store, and the doll keeps moving on her. So the doll then moves up to the top shelf, and Alma climbs up and touches the face in order to get the doll. Then she turns into the doll, like the other kids who did the same thing. Finally, another doll is placed in the window for the next child to come along. So from this, we can actually write a summary. So let me pull up a summary, and I'm going to use a Google Doc because that's the easiest way for me to write a summary. So I'm going to pull up my Google Docs, and I'm going to title my document Summary of Alma, because that is the title of the story. So I'm going to use this, and I'm going to pull out my information so that I can read it. And I'm going to pull over my Google Doc. So I have my information here and my Google Doc here. And then I can go ahead and write. So we start with Alma found a doll in the window that looked just like her. So as you can see, I have Alma wants the doll that looks just like her. The doll is dressed the same as her. As you can see, I have now done the somebody and what they wanted. Let's do the but now. She cannot get into the store because the doll keeps moving on her. She cannot get into the store in the beginning of the story. When she gets in, the doll keeps moving around on her. Okay? I'm using my information and I'm expanding it a little so that the sentences sound better. So what happened? The doll then moves to the top shelf, and Alma climbs up and touches the face. The doll climbs to the top shelf, and Alma climbs the shelf to reach the doll. Okay? I'm going to use the touches his face in the then. When Alma touches the doll's face, she turns into the doll. Okay? When Alma touches the doll's face, she turns into the doll and is stuck like the other children. Okay? Finally, another doll is placed in the window for the next child to come along. finally, another doll is placed in the window for another child to come along. That is the summary of what happened in this story. Make sure you check for spelling and grammar. You can see that I don't have any squiggly red lines, so my spelling's okay. Squiggly blue lines would mean my grammar is not right. Capital letters and punctuation have all been added. This is a summary. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sentences. Your summary should be anywhere from 5 to 10 sentences long, depending on the story. If you use this graphic organizer to write your story, your summary will come out with at least 5 sentences. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 sentences right there. Be sure to use the graphic organizer before you write the summary.